Welcome back to another video, guys. So today on this build we'll be building OLX-CLONE, and I know I haven't seen myself an OLX-CLONE out there, so I just thought to myself, let me stop this trend of building Amazon clones, YouTube clones, and just build an OLX-CLONE. So what we'll be building is this. So what we'll try to do is so I have nothing here prepared. I'm just doing this right here with you guys. So we'll try and have this, and I believe that this is hard coded from what they see in the database, or let me say I will hard code this. Obviously I won't have tons of categories, maybe 3 or 4 will be fine. And then what I've realized is I cannot add to wish list if I'm not logged in, so that's a functionality that we can add. So logging in and selling. Another thing that I've realized is when you click on one of this, you can chat with the seller. So I don't know how to make chat systems, but then I thought of a turnaround which I'm on the fence of, that I'm going to think about during the process. It's either sending email or sending a message to the seller, but then only it being displayed to the user's dashboard. I don't know how this is gonna work, but then let me just think about this. I seriously do not know, but then whatever that will work. So I just made a create react app. As you can see, there's nothing much here. So let us open this project. Let us open this project. So it'll be a nice project to do and see if I can pull it off myself. I've not even built this thing. So here what I did in the key.md thing is I didn't want to show my real key, so I have an SMTP key that I made, but then this is a temporary key, so I didn't want to expose my real key, and this is the one that I used to log in. So obviously after this video I'm gonna delete this temporary key, so I don't care about exposing the email. Either way, if you need business, you can contact me. So yeah, so now as usual we want to delete, let's leave the app.css because I know that I'll make use of that, but then we can delete the test, and index.js I can leave, and then delete all this. But then I'll definitely have my code within the app.css. So let me just remove all that, and also in here I just want to remove everything, just cleaning up. I remove all that, and I just need a React import. There we go. And then I just need an h1 saying that this is the, okay, my IntelliSense is not working for some reason. It's a home page for now, right? And then in our index we can remove that, we can remove that, we can grab both of those things, grab both of this content here, we remove that, and we left with that, and we remove this. So right now we're just cleaning up this thing. So now if I run my npm, it should work. So let's run npm start and let's see. So npm start, it should work. Okay, while that is taking time, so let's see what we'll need, if there's any icons that we need. So it looks like we'll only need the search icon, so we can grab that from material UI, and we need the heart icon. And that we can also grab from material UI. Okay. I think we can pull it off, guys. I think we can pull it off, hopefully. Hopefully, but then I think we can. Okay, so home page, everything is working fine. So right now let's just go to material UI. We need to get the icon for this, and we can, thing is this, it's like a filter whereby you search by popular, like not popular, by popular locations. And I don't want to make this video that long, so I won't be adding filters myself, but then I will make the search functionality. But then filters, no. So it means that we'll omit this box. We'll be having this on the left, this on the center, and this to right. Yeah, I will omit that box. Now we go to icons. Let's get those icons. Now we grab that, and we shouldn't forget to install the material UI core, right? So now we go here. So we only need the search icon. Based on this, we only need the search icon, and we should be fine. Right, so we say search. We only need this icon for this build, and let's make a new folder in the source. Let's say component. In the component, we're looking to make the header, right? Header.js x, header.js x, and in here I can close this empty file. I can close this app.css, close that, and then for now I can say array_fce, and then I can say class name. This is header __ container, right? And then we can have an h1 saying that this is our header, right? And then that is done. So we need to install the core. So just remove the icons and then enter core, right? And then we place that import of ours, right? And then now in our app.css, I just want to make global variables, not variables, but then CSS rules. That is, the margin should be 0, padding also 0, and then lately I'm loving this font family, so I also want to give the font family of Korea monospace that. So if you guys don't like this, there's no need to add that. So now I have that installed. Oh no, it's still installing. So I do not want to take this component to the app while that is not yet installed, because I know that it will give me an error. So okay, so let's, while that is working on its thing, let's destructure this thing. So what's happening here, what I believe is we have a container that's wrapping around the left child, the center child, and the right child. So if we can have that structure and then display flags between, we should get a structure like this, definitely. So now let's try get an OLX icon, right? Because we don't have one. Let's say OLX icon, right? Let's try and get one. Hopefully we do get the same as that one, but then I doubt we will. Okay, that one's looking like that, so looks like this one. Yep, let's just grab this one. So save image and go to the home, Mern, OLX client source, and then make a new folder, say images, and then we want to save here saying logo.png, right? So now we have that logo. Now our import should be done right now, I believe. Not an import, but an installation, right? So now we can take this app or component to the app. So now what we can do is we can say header, right. So now that header should come up here. There we go. Now we have our header. Now let's start building this header to be like this, right. So now we can close this app and that. So now what we do is we have that header container, right. So we have a div. So we have a div that is of header. The left side, right, that is the header and underscore left container, and then we have the center container, so div and it's header underscore center container, and then we have a div that is the header underscore right container. So in here on the left container we just need the logo, so let's import that. Let's say import from images. We have the logo dot png, so we just need the logo, so say image, and then we pass in the logo name here, say logo from that, and then we say logo, and then we say OLX-CLONE logo, right. And then now we need the center, so the center is the input field where we say placeholder, we say search, and then we have that icon, right, that is there. And then the right, what do we have on the right? Oh, there's a sign in button, I believe. There's a sign in link and a sell button. I don't know how they make that sell button, but then I'll make my own button. So they have, let's say, I think it should be an H4 that will say log in, but then when you're logged in it should say sign up, so we'll update that in the future. So let's have a button which says sell, right. We can do that, and then now we should have an ugly UI right now, so I can add, okay, now that's the logo, right. So now let's get to styling this thing. So in our source folder we can make a style sheet, right, and this app.css, I should take it here, and then I should fix my import. No, I should import it actually. Import some style sheet app.css, and then I can close that. I don't need it for now. And then in here I need to import, I need to make a style sheet of header. I say header.css, right. So now I import that, and then style sheet header.css, right. So now let's take this header to the left, and then now what I want to do is I want to take this and then display flex for that, and then we align items center to have them all aligned properly, right. So everything is aligned properly. As you can see, if I remove the align item center, we have some at the top there, which is something that we don't want, right. So align item center, and then finally justify content space between. That should put all of those things at the far end, and what I want at the center. So we kind of like getting the logic here. So now let's get this image, make it smaller, right? So I can give it a class name. So I can give it a class name. I say this is the header underscore left container logo. So I just like being descriptive with my class names. So yeah, and then I say width of, let's say, 50%. Right, let's take it a bit smaller. Okay, so thing is, because us will be having only the image there, it shouldn't be that small. It should be at least should be looking good, man. It should be looking good. But then let me say this should be a flex of let's give it a flex of because I want the input to be bigger, so I can say I can give this one a flex of 0.2 and the other one a flex of 0.2. So if I give this one a flex of 0.2, it won't be visible right now. Not this one, man. I need the container itself, which means that I want to grab this one and then I want to give this a flex of 0.2, and then obviously it won't be visible, but then hopefully it will be. Or maybe let's just use width instead. Let's say width of 20%, and then okay, let's see how all this goes. If this will make my UI ugly, then we'll do something else. We'll remove those things. Here I want to display flex. Already was displaying flex, but then now I want to align item center, so to have this two aligned properly. So I then say align items center, and now hectic, what's happening now? What's happening now? Because that should align my content. Okay, it's all of this. Okay, this is weird. This is weird. So we are displaying flex, we are aligning items center, and it's not aligning. There we go. Why wasn't it? Just needed me to refresh. Okay, so I guess it wasn't this bugging out, it just wanted me to refresh for some reason, I don't know. So my align item center is now working. So now what I want to do is okay, let's see. So now what I want to do is I just want to have this one having a border of 2. Okay, so again, I want to have this border of 2 pixels solid black, and then I can say find. So we'll be selling cars, mobile and gaming consoles. So that's what we'll be selling. So I won't be like having like, why did I even screenshot this thing? I don't know. Okay, my UI has a tendency of having me to refresh this thing. I don't know what's happening. Now I need to give this thing a padding of 2M. Okay, there we go. So now I want to give this one a width of 60%. There we go. And then I want to have, so this input field, let's give it a class name. And if you've realized I like giving classes for everything, I'll say header underscore center input field, right? So with this one, what I want to do with this one is I want to give it a flex of 1, right? Because I want, okay, so that didn't work. What does it need me to refresh my page again? So it needed me to refresh my page. So now what I want to do is I want to also remove the border on this input field to be none, so that there's no border there. It needs me to refresh again, right? So now we're looking good, right? And then what I can do now is, okay, so I can search, so find cars, mobile and gaming consoles. So now let's try have the background on this one. So now we can give it class name, and we can say the header underscore center icon, right? So with the center icon, what I want to do is I want to have a border left of 2 pixels solid gray, let's say gray. Come on, why is my React not, okay, I forgot I'm not using Node.js. Why is my React not auto updating? I don't know, man, like, I don't know. It's really not like me refreshing. So while that it's doing its thing, let's say a background color of black, and give this thing a color of white, right? So this is really not it, man, like my React not auto updating, because I'm tired of this refreshing. So while that it's doing its thing, let's come to this one, right? Because I think we kind of have like the idea. Also here we want to display flex, and then we want to also align items. Also want to align items to the center. So now let's see what's happening. Because this thing of refreshing ourselves, it's not gonna cut it, right? So we have that having a color of black. This is now good. This is now here. Let's try give this a space, and I'm not gonna use justify content for that one, because let me see if that won't break, but then I believe it should break and give me things that I do not want, and it's actually not giving me anything, right? So I expected it to give me something wrong, but then it ended up not giving me anything. So now what we want to do is class name, right? Say header underscore right link text, right? Because it will be a link. So now we come to that one, right? So we just want to shift that one because the button is at a good place. So now we say not display, now we say margin right of 0.5 ems, right? So now that should give me a good nudge. Come on, did I really have to refresh myself? Let's say 0.8. Okay, let me see something. This will want me to refresh. Let's say 10. Okay, so it doesn't want me to refresh anymore. Okay, so 0.8 is looking quite decent by my eyes. So now what I want to do is, because it has sort of like a circular form, right? But then I think they are achieving that because they have, okay, let's first get that first. So class name, let's say header underscore right button, right? So now what do we want to do with this button? We want to give it a border, radius of 999 pixel. I believe that's how they're getting the round shape. Come on, I did save this project. I have to refresh. Okay, perfect. So we're getting that round shape, right? So now I say padding of 2m. Ooh, that's bad. So padding of 0.5m and 2m's, right? So I can add that. I could sit well with this. It's looking good on my eyes, like this. And then I can make it like a bit, style it a bit more. Okay, like honestly guys, if you guys know why this React always wants me to restart, please just comment down below. And if you like what you see here and like these videos, please like, share and subscribe. So now what I want to do is I want to say transition is in and out of 0.4 seconds, and I want to say background color to being black. So I'm just giving it my own flavor, and I say color of white, right? So hectic. What's happening with this thing? Give it a background color on hover. Oh, it needed me to refresh. Okay, so we have that working nice. So now what we're gonna do is we wanna add this no, we need a burner. So I want to add the background. I feel like that background, I don't know what's happening here, because sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. So we need a burner, right? So I'll add my own burner, right? So let's just go to Google. Let's say free online shopping burners, right? So let's just grab that. Any burner, guys. There's no need to which one would do? Okay, nah, that one. Let's see. Shop online, things like this. Order your printing from anywhere. This looks relevant. This looks relevant because we want to get something that's relevant, you know. Again, I don't want to go to this website. Okay, so okay, let's just take this burner, guys. Hopefully we are allowed to. Let's say burner. Let me look at this image first before. Fast, easy, secure checkout online store. Yeah, it's fine. Let's see if that was added here in this images. There we go. Alright, so right now we just want to add the burner. So with the header, I'm practically done. But then let me see something if this won't make this bad. With that input field, this input field, I was thinking, how much did I give that button padding? 0.5 and 2, right? So I can just do the same thing, 0.5m and 2m. Alright, so that makes this part look bad, right? And this part I only want to increase the height, right? I don't know if this will work. but then let's try. So let's say a padding of 0.4 m and 0 m. We don't want to do anything on the sides. So that worked nicely, gelled in nicely, and it's not bad. It's not bad. Could be improved, but then it's not bad. It's really not bad. It's really not bad. Let's see, it's really not bad. Okay, we have all this aligned properly. So we actually did a good job, I must say. We actually did a good job. If this is aligned properly, that was my fear, that this wasn't aligned properly. But then look at that, like a charm. Right, so now let's move on. So now what we want to do is we want to put in that burner, like you see what I mean, like this background thing keeps coming on and on. So, but then as we just want to add a burner, right? So now we close that. In our components we say burner.jsx, and then array.ce, and then that image is burner. So import burner from images / burner.css, burner.jpg, and then in here I want to give this a class name of burner underscore container, and we want an image tag that will be having the burner, and then we say burner, right? So now we want to take this. So what I want to do is I want to keep my root component clean. I'll say home page because I know that all these are getting into the home page, so I can call in the home page the header and then the burner, so on and so forth. So home page underscore container, and then in here I call in the header, man, come on. Okay, it's fine, my IntelliSense doesn't want to work with me, so it's fine. So I'll say import header from header, and I'll import burner from burner, and then I use that header, and then I use that burner, right? And then in my app I put that home page, right, keeping it a bit clean, and then I remove this header, right? Still the same, should get the same result. So now banner.jsx identifier banner has already been declared. Okay, so because of the image, so say burner underscore, I can say home burner, that's fine. I can say home burner, then here I take that there, right? Now we have that looking like this, right? So now what we want to do is we want this to fill the whole page. It would be good if we were to fill the whole page. So we want to let it fill the whole page and then play around with the type. So now we say style sheet, and then we say burner.css. So now we close the app, we close that, we bring that there, right? So now we want to import style sheet, want to import the burner.css, and then now what I want to do is I want to give this class name. I want to say home burner, right? So now this home burner, I want to give it a width. It has a width of 100, right? So but then I believe every image when it comes in, it has a width of 100. It does have a width of 100. But then now what we want to do is we want to say object fit cover, right? So we can cover that and it's not covering. That's weird. Or does it want me to refresh? Okay, so it's just not covering. So our image is small here. Okay, and it's not that width because normally the width should be 100%, right? But then in all honesty, this is not looking that bad because we won't find another burner, and it's not really looking that bad because after the burner I just need to add categories below. So here under below I can add categories. It's really not looking that bad, so we can leave this burner like this. And then what we do is underneath we need categories, right? So usually I won't make another component for that, but then what I'll do is, okay, so I can look this and then say burner, right? And then I paste that there, right? And then here I want to add categories underscore available, right? And then in here I'll add h4. We said we'll be having cars, mobiles, and gaming consoles. That's what we are aiming to cater, right? So right here what we want to do is we want to take this, center this. So right now we want that. So now we can say class name, or what I can do to make my life easy, grab all those and say class name and give them categories underscore in stock, right? Now that should give me that. So now do that. We come to the burner. So I think the name burner was a mistake. And we can do that, and this one is not working, sad. So we do that. So now what we want to do is want to say text align center. So align everything in the center. Now my React is working fine. Hit display flex, right? And text center won't work. And weird, my display flex is not working. It's weird, my display flex is not working. Oh, obviously. So I display flex on the object, right? And then I justify content, please work. But then if I thought it will work. Oh, it worked, right? So I don't want to spread them like that. I want to spread them around. I think that's the best option, yeah. And what's happening here with my CSS now? Oh yeah. So spread them around. Okay. So we're still having problems. So evenly. Things I don't want them to be far-fetched. There we go. That's the good amount of spacing I need. So I space them evenly like that, and then on top of this I need to add category underscore title. So I'm just giving it my own flavor, guys, so don't mind me doing this. And then I say actual underscore categories. This means that we have to change the Hope you following. Hectic, what's happening? Copy that. So what's happening here is I want to show the text. I'll tell you right now. So here I'll have an H2 and I'll say categories. We say all categories. So all categories. So right now what I want to do is with this one, right? I want to obviously this I don't want anymore. I want this for this, right? But then for categories, what I want for this one is I want to display flex, but then now I want to have a flex direction of column, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna say align item center, right? And my text is not getting nudged. So now I want to take this one, right? So it's fine with this, we can hold on with this. So now I get to this and I say text align center. Come on, man. I want to get that text to the center. Okay, let's wait with this. Let's hold on with this. Okay, so I have that. Right, we're looking good like that right now. Right. So now my code breaks. So let's pause with this also. Right. So now let's bring this one here. Everything is in the center, right? And then now let's forget about this for a second. Let's come to this. There we go. But then now our justify content is no more working, right? And it was expected. So now what we do is, it's fine if it doesn't work for some odd reason. I don't know why. Normally okay, now for some odd reason that is not working, so we grab those in stock, we margin left them 2 ems away from each other, right? So now that okay, so let me just give them, let's say 8 ems. Okay, so we're getting that spacing that we need, but then that mobile has to be centered there, right? So I give the container itself a margin right of 3 ems. Okay, what's happening now? Let's see, 10 ems. Okay, I'm not seeing any movement. Okay, I'm not seeing any movement. I'm just trying to force it. Yeah, when I say 100. Oh, it needs me to refresh. I don't know, it was working just for me. Okay, so now we're having that nicely, right? So now we just wanna grab enough spacing. There we go. So now what we want to do is we want to give this container itself a margin top of 2 ems, right? So now we have all those categories nice and centered, perfect, and the image and the all categories nice and centered. So now it's the aim of getting these things right. So off the bat, we're gonna be uploading this. I won't be taking static data, right? So it means that we need to work on our server, which means that only an authenticated can sell. Right now I'm not logged in and I don't even have an account here, so I think I do, yeah. So I have to log in. So let's start with authentication, and then after you can, once you logged in, you can upload, and then we take it from there. So right now what we do is we're done with part of our UI. we did this right here, and then we have our burner there, we have that. So now let's get back to the server, right? So now it's no more visuals, it's all about APIs right now, right? So I feel like we can close our server, our React server, it's fine. So now we at the root, right? So this is how I like to do my things. Put everything in the root besides the client. Put it in its own folder, npm init. So now OLX-CLONE, OLX-clone, and then version that, description this is the backend server for OLX-CLONE, entry point server.js, that junior someone that right. So we need some packages here. We need npm I, we need express, we need mongoose, we need formidable, we need cause. So formidable, so let me just go through this. Express is our server framework, the express framework. Mongoose for database, formidable for body parsing, cause is for us to allow access to our React to access that. We need Cloudinary for file uploads. We need bcrypt because you cannot save, you can, but then you should not save user password as raw content. You should hash it. And then we'll be using JSON web tokens. We could use server sessions, but then I feel like maybe it might take some time to get that to work because I'm still new at that myself. So express, mongoose, and we need .env, and this should be it, right? So this should be it. And I also need another package, that is nodemon. So hence I'm adding it alone. Hence you see this end, I'm adding it alone, and this should be flagged as a dev dependency, right? So now that should install. So while that is installing, so like I said, I'm still thinking in my mind how we're gonna handle the sending of message. Either we'll use this to send email, or yeah, I'll think about it. I'm not yet sure, guys, like I'm not yet sure. But then we'll use one method. So let's say server.js. So in here we can start const express is equal to require express. See what's happening here. Express, and then cause is equals to require. You know, I should use the ES5, should I? Like I hardly use the ES6. I mean, okay. By the way, you need to add something. Let me see. Search this. How to use ES6 in Node.js. I remember that you need to add a types, and then you should say something like that. I think so. I see that I hardly use. While that is installing, guys, Node.js provides a simple way to list all dependencies. What's happening now? It's not what I'm asking for. While that is installing, I think there's another in the package.json. There's something that I should add. See that I hardly use this thing. Nah, it was not Babel. I remember it was not Babel. I remember it was not Babel. I remember adding that thing and it was not Babel. So, but then, come on, man, come on. Why am I not finding this thing? Yeah, without Babel. You don't need Babel with Node.js. Let's open those two tabs. It'll be nice using Node.js6 for a change in my Node.js. Keywords. Do npm init get passive. Doubt that it is. Really? Because I'm not finding those guys, and I don't want to waste you guys' time. Okay, there's last. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. This is the one. This is the one, guys. This is the one. I think that is the one. I believe in the package, but JSON, I can add it anywhere, right? I believe. Right. Type module. I believe that is the one. Okay, let's try that. Let's import Express. From Express, let's just try making a simple API. Let's do that. And then import course from course. And then import. Okay, let's before we go too far, let's say const, so that we see that this thing works. Express, and then app dot listen, import 5000 before we go any further, because you might go further writing things. Meanwhile, it's not working. Server, right? And then my package.json, I want to make a start. Right, and I say node server.js, and then I want to make a dev dependency whereby this would be nodemon server.js, right? So npm run dev. Let's see if that works. There we go. So that's what I needed to run ES6 type module, apparently. So I keep forgetting that thing. But then now let's just carry on. Yeah, so now I imported course. I need mongoose from mongoose. I can even instantiate my connection. Yeah, so now I need to get MongoDB. Let me just even bookmark this thing so that I do not forget it, because I hardly use ES6 in Node. So ES6 Node.js. So we learn something, guys. Like I say, learning Mern, stack with me. So we're learning together. Alright, so I can close this tab. So now we need MongoDB opened. MongoDB opened. So I'll definitely be using the one that I always use for YouTube. That is the Proton Mail, non-personal one. So yeah. So now we need to up this pace, guys, because I don't want to make this like 5-hour video. It should be like a bit less. So now let's come here. So I nearly built a new YouTube clone, but then I thought twice. I was like, everyone is building YouTube clones, so nah. And I wanted to add like tons of functionality, like the like, the comment, the subscribe, but then I was like, nah, it's still the same thing. So OLX-CLONE, create project. So let's just build the OLX-CLONE. If you guys have projects that you want me to build, comment down below and I'll be glad to look into them. So just choose anything that is free here. So yeah, and cluster name, let's say OLX-CLONE. Alright, create clone. And then that should take some bit of time. So while that is doing, let's make a database access. So in the database access, I'll say test, and then auto generate, show password, grab that password, make this user a temp user as always, and then take this password, let's make it .env file. So .env. So hopefully this ES6 won't be hard for me to use because I hardly use ES6 with Node.js. Like, what let me say, I even don't use it. Unexpected token const. I wonder why. I wonder why. Either way, it's fine. We'll see that later. Let's just focus on this now. Okay, so this is still building my cluster, right? So while that is building my cluster, we have Express there, we have Mongoose. That's all we need for our server, right? We need to import .env from .env, and then what I have to do is I have to say .env. So here comes the trigger part because I hardly use this thing, right? So hopefully this works. So now I say const, so I say const app. So I need that app, and this thing is giving me the thing. So I say const app is equals to express, right? And what's happening with the server right now? So obviously, I'm running the server and there's no port listening. Makes sense. So now what I want to do is I want to say I have that app, right? I say app.use. I want to use course, and then what I want to do is we'll say this is the middleware. So middleware, and yeah, and then now I want to get our MongoDB connection, yeah. So MongoDB configs and connection, and once that is done, we'll add that there. So now I want to say server configs and connection, right? So here I want to say const port is equal to process.env dot port. If it's not there, I want to use 5000, right? And then what I want to do is I want to say app.listen to that port, right? And then I want to log server started at port, that, right? So I wonder how this will be of me using ES6, hopefully. So add current IP, allow access, just allow access, and then choose connection method, and then copy this URI, and then we should be good. I come to .env, so you want MongoDB URI equals to that connection string. You want to take your password, replace it with that, and then I just prefer changing the DB name as well, and this will be OLX-CLONE. Right, so now that will be our database name. Now we can close that. So now we can come here, we can say const mongo URI is equal to process.env.mongo URI, and say mongoose.connect. We connect to the mongo URI, and what I want to do is I want to add that object. So I want to add mongo essential. I don't know what to call this thing, essentials. But then what I want to add is that use okay, think that let's just copy this thing. So this is the thing that I want to add. So I think I forgot this. Now I remember this thing like properly because I didn't want to make mistakes in terms of like typos and everything. And then use unified topology true. Will I be editing things? Will I be updating? So I just I won't be updating. So this two should do, but then I can add the use create index. I think so I want to take this entire object, right? I think I was avoiding typos. I put it here, and then I use the Mongo essentials, right? And then thereafter MongoDB brings back a callback to me. If there's an error, I return a log of that error. Else I want to return a log that says connection to MongoDB was successful, right? So now let's test up our server, see that are we connecting, right? npm run dev server started, import that. How about MongoDB? There we go. So now we are working just fine. So now what I want to do is make a model, right? So when I make a model, so in the model we want user model, or is it as user.js, because we know that we're in models either way. So now I want to import mongoose from mongoose. I'll say const user schema is equal to mongoose dot schema, and this user schema, so this user let's say name, we don't want a lot, let's just say name, and it should be type string required true, and let's say email type string required true, unique true, and then let's say password, that's the final thing in terms of like user details. So string, come on, type string required true, right? So now this user can have sales, right? So sales, this will be a type of array so that we can store this user sales, whatever that they're selling. Am I gonna make a dashboard for them? Nah, that would be like too much, but then I can in the if we then decide to. But then what I want to do is, there is a possibility that if I decide not to use node mailer to send an email, I I'll have an array of messages, right? Of messages. Alright, that's what I can decide, and on top of that we can say is seller, right? So that we know that this person has a dashboard. This will be a boolean. There's a possibility if I do make a what we call this one. I can say export default, export const. Okay, this is much nicer. User model is equals to mongoose dot model. It's much nicer using ES6. The user schema. It's much nicer actually, because I can leverage that. I can leverage such syntax. I don't know why I wasn't using this. I hardly do that. And then I say route. So in this route I just want the auth for now. So there's the auth. So say auth.js. So right, so I want to import user model from models user, right? And it's not picking that up. Weird. Export default const. It's weird. Nah, it's like this. Should pick it up like this. I don't know. But then, okay, we'll see if my MongoDB gives me my Mongo. If I get errors as a const, say import bcrypt from bcrypt, import JWT from JSON Web Token. I want to import .env from .env. So now we'll need a JWT secret, right? So we'll create our own JWT secret, because I'm lazy to go to the internet and search for a strong password that auto generator. So we're gonna generate our own, right? Add some dollars there, add some hash, some random keys, right? That is our JWT secret. This will be it. This will be our JWT secret. So now I want to say .env.config, and yeah, I want to say this should be user auth, right? So what we forgot to do is, if I didn't specify required, then it's not required, and then default for sales, if it's not passed through, it's an empty array. Same for messages, right? If I then decide to use the condition, right? So now what I want to do is I want to import express from express, and I want to say const router is equals to express dot router, and I say router dot post API / user dash register. So our server will be the one handling the validations. Our client would handle that. So then what we do is we then formidable, right? I want to import formidable from formidable, right? I I say const form is equals to new formidable dot incoming. So this is for body parsing, and then I say form. Alright, sip some water. Right, so I now say so formidable for body parsing, so I say form dot parse. I want to pass that request. It will bring errors, it will bring fields, either fields or files, right? So now then what I expect to get from the user in here, I expect to get the email, the password, the name, and the verified password. This is just a normal thing that a person should verify their password. So I'm just showing you this, and I should get an is seller, right? So is seller. So all this is coming from fields. So I then make some validation. So if email is not there, or if password is not there, or if name is not there, or if verified password is not there, or if is seller is not there, and then this person was not serious, I return a response.status of 400.json with the message that all fields have to be entered. Right, first validation. Second validation, if password.length is less than 5, I wanna return a response.status of 400.json saying that password has to be at least 5 characters long. Right, say 5 characters long. Second validation. Third validation is if password is not equal to verified password, we return a response.status of 400.json sending that passwords, so double quotations for this, so passwords, come on, so passwords have to match, right? And then if this person passes till here, we want to check if the user does exist. So it feels like this thing is not importing my thing correctly, so it's fine. What I can do is I can do this. I can say export default user model, so user model, right? I don't know, it should be green because it's a model. Export model. Okay, so I don't know if I get an error. I get an error, guys. If I get an error, I get an error. It's fine. Yeah, if I get an error, I get an error. So now what I want to do is I want to check if there is a user, right? So if there is a user, we want to make this operation asynchronous since we're going to be dealing with MongoDB. So now say await user model dot, see what I mean? So when I say await user model dot, exactly. Export default. it's like it's not treating it now, it's treating it as a what we call a model. There we go. We want to find one with an email whereby the email is the one that was passed to us, right? So if there is a user like that with this thing, when I return a response that status of 400.json saying that user with this email already exists, right? So now what we want to do is just a minor change, guys, because this is just the best practice. I want to take all that code, put it in a try catch. So I'm not doing anything hectic, just a try catch, paste all that code that we wrote, but then here in the catch I want to return a response that status of 500.json saying that server is currently down, please try again later. Alright, so now that is what we do there. So now if this person passes this validation, then it means that this person can register, right? So now what we do is we now want to hash the password that this person gave to us. So we make a salt that we want to hash with. So say bcrypt.gensalt. We give it a number of rounds, 15. So now say const hashed password is equals to bcrypt.hash, and when I hash the password with the salt, right? So now what we want to do is, so that this person is logged in, right? When I say const, when I make a token, right? So when I say jwt.sign, before we do that, we want to save this user, right? So that we can have an ID of that token, ID of the user in that token. So now what we do is we then say const new user is equals to await, not await, man. New user is equals to new user model, and we want the name. So let's put this here so that we can see what we're dealing with. So I want the name, the email, the hashed password, and I want the is seller, right? So now this is what I want, and this is what is coming from the client, right? So then I want to save this user. I say const saved user is equals to await new user dot save, right? So now this user is now saved. I want to say const token is equals to jwt.sign, and then I want to sign by the saved user dot underscore ID. What's happening there? This should work. I'm gonna say saved user. I want to make use of this user. Saved user dot underscore ID. Oh yeah, and I want to say ID. Oh yeah, that's why it was not working, because always when I don't see like syntax highlighting, so if what I wanted to make sure is I do get the underscore ID, right? And then finally I sign this with the process.env jwt secret, right? This jwt secret of ours, I paste that there, right? So now what I do is when I send back a response, Right. So now I can return a response with status of 201, saying that the user has been created. Right. So and then say account success fully created, but then I also want to send back a token. I do this token, and then I pass the token, and then what else do I want to pass? That's all. To be honest, that's all. Let's pass down the username. And then say name, and then say saved user dot name. Right. I think I named it that in the model. Yeah. Pass out the name. Right. So this is the contents that we'll be passing out. Let's say email, in case I decide to use email when I want to email this person, right? Depending on what I'll choose. So this will be the response when this person registers. So let's do the sign up. No, to log in. So that we finish with this router dot post. Right. So API / user dash login, and a request response. And in here what we want to do is okay, so we want to get formidable, right, to pass the content in our request. New formidable dot incoming form. I will say form dot pass. I want to pass the request if there's any errors, if there's any fields, and finally if there's any files. Right. So now what I want to do is I expect an email and password only, right, from fields. Right. So now what I want to do is I want to put everything in a try catch. So in the catch I want to return a response with status of 500 .json message. So is currently down, please try again later. Right. And in this try, what I want to do is I want to check if email is not there or password. If one of the two is not there, I return a response with status of 400 .json, saying that all fields have to be entered. Right. That's the first validation. So now if they pass this validation, what I want to check is, does this user exist in our emails, right? So say const user is equals to await. Now I want to make this an asynchronous approach, right? So await user model dot find one. I want to find one by email, whereby we call that email, right? So now we check that if this user does not exist, I want to return a response but status of 400 .json with a message saying that user with this email does not exist. Right. However, if this user does exist, I want to make sure that the password is actually the one that I hashed. Right. So now how we do that is we say const is password match is equals to await decrypt dot compare. So I want to compare the password that was inputted, and then with the user dot password. So now if the password doesn't match, I wanna return a response.status of 400 saying message saying invalid credentials, right? So now if this user passes all these validations, it means that it's the right email, it's the right password, right? So now what I want to do is I want to send back a token, say const token, and is equals to jwt.sign, and we say ID, and the ID is from the user dot underscore ID. We sign with the process dot env dot awt secret, and then I send back the same response, but then 200 now. So I send back that response 200, and then we say logging you in, right? We send back the token, we send back the name, but then now it should be user, right? And then we should be done with logging in. We should be done, right? So now I want to export this thing. We say export default router, right? So now let's see, hopefully this works. Now I say underneath this I say that I need my route constant, right? So in here I say const, no, I say import, nope, since I'm using ES6 it doesn't look good importing there. So now I just need to do I do import auth route from route auth that, and then what I do is I say route entry point, right? Do that, we do this, and then I say app.use auth route, right? Let's see the errors that we're getting. Imported, did you mean import that? Hectic. See, now the ES6 is coming to bite me. Can't find the module. Okay, let's just make a quick Google search, because it's been a while. How to import express router ES6. It's been a while since I used Node.js, how to configure router along with ES6. Let's see this. Your API currently. Remove the /API from the router kit. not making sense to me. Okay, how will that help me? Because that's just the route. I don't know if you guys get the sense. I don't know what that will help me, what that guy was saying there. Let's just get to the answer. Export router as okay, now that makes sense. So when I export router as auth router, right? What that? Yeah, export or change import as. And now this is fine. Export router as auth router, and then I say auth the auth router. Come on, that is still not working. Imported from home side Mern. Did you mean import? Still the same thing. Cannot find module. Go change your import to this. Import a router. Okay, so let's just take this back. Let's see. Export. Okay, let's just see something. Okay. Right. So import router as auth router. Right. This thing is not working. I think this was the main reason why I left. Did you mean import auth.js? Does that mean I should add without? I think this was the main reason why I left. I stopped using ES6. Okay, this person is saying things that I think this was the main. How do I correctly import express router? I think this was the main reason. Come on. ES6. Express routing. Input from how to export express router ES6. So this is the challenges that you guys will see me working on, guys. How to import router Node.js. I think this was the main reason why I stopped. Come on. Then I just specify ES6. you added a prefix, and now it's register. Okay. I don't know if it's the way. Export default router. How is this people's thing working? Thank you, it was the register problem. It's not totally what I want, but how is this guy's things working? Like it's literally working. Export default router. Okay, we'll get this to work somehow, some way. It just must work. Or unless I thought it would allow me to do that. What I'm thinking is, let's see if I do this right. Obviously that will break, right? Makes sense. So if I say require, right? If I say that I want to require route auth, and then if this works, then I can, oh my goodness, the requires not defined. How the heck is not defined? This is something that you import require from. Come on. Okay, let's say const equals to require const auth router equals to require. If this works, I think this is the main reason why I stopped using ES6, because I was lazy to research on how this really works. Come on, it requires not defined. One last Google search before I convert all of this to ES5. One last Google search. How to export and import Express ES6. And no, let's support ES6. Okay, let's just read this. Okay, this is what we did. It's fine. Okay, so if I say, if we bring this up, we do that, and then we say, this is just a thought, guys. We say module.export is equals to router, right? So obviously that might not work because I have to I remember now that this was the main reason for me not working with ES6, and there was delaying. I could have done a lot. No, screw this, I'm sorry guys, I have to change this to ES5. This is something that I'll research on, but then screw this. This means that wherever where I have import, const is equals to require, right? I'm sorry guys, I could have been way far with this thing. If I was using ES5, I could have been way far. Unless you guys have a solution to that, please comment down below and I'll be glad to look into it. Could have been way far now. Mongoose code won't change, it's just the import. I could have been way far right now. .env. I really have to check it out though, because I can't continue working with ES5. Remove this junk. .env.config. Right. So I can even remove this, and then can remove this. I say require .env.config. Now my home page, not home page, but on server, it's now good. So now we have to come in here, module export. Hopefully that's right. So module.export, right? Now we have to come into the model, and instead of import, I want to say const mongoose is equal to require mongoose, and then yeah, it's module dot export user model, right? We do that. My server's still crying because of this. Yeah, say const equal to, and then take that, paste that there, take that, paste that there, take that, bring it there, and then for .env it is just require .env.config. Like I could have been far right now. Yeah, this ES6, and then makes me regret now. But then it's fine. It was nice while it lasted. So now it's time to up my game to be a bit more faster. So require express formidable express router. So yeah, require, right? So everything should be in order now. App.use router, yes. So now in the app, right? So just to make things quick, oh yeah, I have to require the route of that, right? So now .env is not defined, will not define auth.js, right? What the heck, all this one, right? There we go. Now we have a working server. So Yep, bye bye ES6. So now we're done with the user login and the sign up. So now we just want to handle that in the client, right? So now what we do is we come here in the client. I won't focus heavy on styling. So what I'll do is component. So yeah, I'll say sign up.jsx. So RESE. So I'll say class name is equals to sign up underscore container. So in here I need a form. Come on, IntelliSense. So I need a form that will be a class of sign up underscore form. In here under sign up, and I will change this to being a class-based component to handle form property. So yeah, I will need the name and input and placeholder would be enter your name, right? And then I'll make another label that will be email, and input will be placeholder, enter email. Another label is password, and that will be an input of password, excuse me, and the input of email, and then there's a placeholder, enter password. So I need to duplicate this, right? And then this one will be verified password, and then we say verified password, right? Like I said, I'll change this to being class because you handle form, or I handle form better using class based components. I feel like it's more clean instead of having like 5 hooks for each and every element. It's just a lot for me. It just doesn't make sense. I feel like it's redundant code, so it's happening. Yeah, I am copying the right things. This thing is crazy. Come on. My VS. Today it's not my day, guys. It's really not my day. Come on. I want to take this whole thing. Okay, so what's happening here? Okay, let me just copy this div. I don't know what's happening myself. I say RCC. I don't know what's happening myself here. So I just do that. Right. Nice and simple. And then remove that. And then what I want to do now is I make a constructor props super props, and then there's dot state, and then here I want the name, I want the email, I want the password, I want the v password, right? So that is my state. and then in here I say handle form, right? So now that should handle my form, and then I say this dot set state, and then I set state to e dot target dot id to e dot target dot value, right? So I give each and everything an id of name, and make sure that the id is equivalent to this, right? So we say id email, and then I say id is password, and id for this one is the password, and I need a button, right? And then that will be sign up, right? And then what I need to do right now is on click, that will be submit, right? And it should be this dot submit, right? And then I bind this dot bind this, and also for handle form also want to bind this keyword is dot bind this, and then I make an on change handler. So on change is equals to this dot handle form. So now instead of making 5 hooks, we just make 1. So hence I like the class-based component for forms. It's very helpful, guys, I promise you. It's very helpful. Very, very helpful. Come on, no. I have on change, right? So now let's just make sure it's on change once, and right. So now what I want to do is I want to have submit form e, and then I say e dot prevent default, and also log this dot state, right? Now let's take this thing to the app. While we do that, let's install npm router react router npm react router dash dom dash save, right? So now when we import that, not import but install, what I want to do is I want to bring it here, right? I say import browser router as router, and we want the route, I want the switch. All this is coming from react router dom, and I want to change those divs to router, right? And then inside I want to change this to being a switch, and then I want to have a route, right? And then bring this home page, right? Right, and then I have a path for this. What is the path? home page. Alright, so now what I want to do is I want to have the sign up. We're just going to sign up with 2 accounts and make use of those 2. So I don't want to make this video too long, and it's getting a bit lengthy now. So I say route. So we're gonna reuse the same component for sign up and sign in, right? And that will be user dash sign up, and then I use that sign up, but then I need the header first. Yep, I need the header, and then I sign up component, right? I think that didn't import, right? And then now what I want to do is grab this route. Now I want to grab this route and go there, right? So we are. So now paste that, go there. Okay, so cd client npm start. Do that so that I can have my server on the other side. Right. So this thing is taking longer than I expected. It's because of that ES6, man, like that ES6. So while that it's doing, let's say Cloudinary. So on Cloudinary, okay, so basically it's uploading, and then I'm thinking, because I want to make it like that hectic, so you can sell and then we display that person's email. And then if you guys want me to carry on with this build and improve it more further, comment down below, and I'll definitely carry on with this build. But then what I'll do right now is we upload the images, and then we retrieve all those images with the contents and all that, and then they will display like the emails and all that. So yeah, something that we'll do. So I'll display, and then I'll use Vue.js for search. That's everything that I'll do. Yeah, basically that will be the video. Yeah, basically that will be the video. And then if you guys want me to add like dashboards and all that, comment down below, like the video, and I'll definitely get to that. Right, so now here in Cloudinary, right, we need those things, and yeah, so this is what we need. Oh my goodness, I have that equal sign. I have that equal sign. Oh, come on. Only one default export allowed. How many default exports do I have here? What's happening here? What's happening with this? Oh my goodness. Everything is just crumbling in my face. Okay, so we have that form, right? Let's make it give it a quick style. Alright, nothing fancy, nothing hectic. So now we say sign up. Actually, let me say form, because I will use the same. Say sign up.css, right? And then sign up, and then import sign up.css, right? So now what I want to do is, no man, I want to take this like that, right? So first thing, let's just style it first. So So what I want to do is I want to take this thing with display flex. So I'll try give it my best shot, even if I'm flex direction of column. Let's see. Okay, so this is not getting applied. Sign up. I have to refresh. So now I have to say a width of 80%. Width of 80%. And then I say align item center. Hectic. Okay, not align item center, but then margin of auto. Right. Perfect. And then what I want to do is I want to take all inputs, make them as a margin bottom. Right. Input margin bottom of 1.5 m. Okay, fair enough. Spacing. This is basically it. This will be our style. Let's just try maybe, let's say background color. Let's try maybe background color of, let's say wheat white. I don't know where I'm going with this. Let's say box shadow of 2 rem, 2.5 rem, 2 rem, solid, hashtag F5, 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 F5. Okay, it's looking bad. Let's remove that background color. Right, let's leave it here. So now let's test this thing. Let's say junior, to email, junior proton mail, password there, verified password. Let's say password 123. Let's get that. Verified password, let's get that. It's fine. And then now we wanna do that. So now we're getting all contents, right? There's all the contents that we're getting, right? So now we want to send an Axios request, right? So now I'll say npm I Axios -- save, right? We know that we are saving the content. So now we want to say import Axios from Axios, right? So in the submit, what I want to do is I want to say const data is equal to new from data, say data dot append. I want to append the email with this dot state dot email, and I want to append the password with this dot state dot password. I want to append the name with this dot state dot name, and then finally let's make sure we renamed this one. I forgot a bit in the routes. Auth, I think I said verified password camel cased, so it was like this, right? So I named it like that, and here it's this dot state dot the password, and then I say Axios dot post, in the URL slash API slash user dash register, and then I pass in the data dot then we'll get the response, and then I wanna log, I wanna alert the response dot data dot message, right? And then in the catch, if there's any errors, we wanna alert error dot response dot data dot message, right? So now we are ready to send this request. Make sure that our server is running. Let's go back, npm run dev, and then what I want to make sure, because I didn't make a proxy, is http dash dash local host net 5000, because I didn't make a proxy, which is fine. I say junior at gmail.com. I say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So let's make sure if our validation works. I omit the 7. I should get error that the response is undefined. Response, let's say junior at gmail.com, and then I say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and then 1 2 3 4 5. I should get all fields have to be entered. That's weird. Okay, let's just say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. It's just all fields have to be entered. Is this thing crazy? Is this thing crazy? Because if not the password, oh, there's no seller. So what I will do is, because I'm removing the dashboard for now, if you guys want me to handle that, then comment down below and I'll definitely do that for you. Right now we're just allowing anyone to post, and then we share their details, right? So now if we do this, obviously passwords do not match, right? So now 1 2 3 4 5 6, I say 4, and then it should send me back an error. All fields have to be entered. 1 2 3 4, and then I say 1 2 3 4. Password has to be a length of that. So now we're getting our responses. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Right. Server is currently down. This is thing crazy. Is there a user that was saved? If there was a user that was saved, then it doesn't make sense. I don't know. Hopefully not. Okay, there's no user. So why is it doing these things to me? Everything is just not working today. Everything is just not working today. Server is currently down. What's happening here? What's happening here? Why is it heating? There's a response. Okay, let's just do this. Let's just log the error, because it looks like it's coming here. Let's log out that error. Let's see that error. Right, Let's wait for MongoDB. There we go. We send that. Let's log that error. Let's see. This is weird. Server is currently down, but then I'm not getting any error. Logged out. Oh, I'm logging in the wrong place. Let's log here. Let's log there. Let's see that error. What's that error that we get in there? If seller is not defined. Oh, I remember in our model we added this thing, so let's remove it for now. Like I said, this is something that we can explore when we're building a dashboard and all that and all those things. So right now it's just like a way of connecting people to buy and sell things. If seller is not defined in auth.js, and yeah, right. So now this should work now. Let's wait for MongoDB. There we go. What? Another error. Cast string. User model validation failed. Password cast to string failed for value. Huh? What's happening here? Huh? User model validation failed. Password cast to string. What did I do? Yeah. Okay. And user model validation. Okay, is that possible way of saying any? Because I don't know. Let's say any. Hopefully it's there. Yeah, and it's not defined. But then why is it not allowing me to pass out a string? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Like everything is just not working out today. My goodness. Let's see. Okay. So hold on. So a quick question is our auth, are we receiving this password? Let's say log password, right? Try the password, let's say junior at let's say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, right? We send that there. We are receiving that password, right? Password cast to string. Okay, what's happening? Oh, this one, because we're using bcrypt to hash this thing, and it's using asynchronous, so it's just those silly mistakes, guys, that you leave out. Oh yeah, so now this should work now. So yeah, account successfully created. So if I go to, it has been ES6, now MongoDB, but then that's fine, guys, it's fine. So now what we want to do is we have that, right? So now what we want to do, email is undefined. What's happening? Email. Okay, that's fine. We more keen on the image postings and everything. So now let's get gaming console. Let's get gaming consoles. Get gaming console. Let's just get at least 3 save images. So I have a PSP there. I have a PS3. So PS3. An Xbox. I have a Nintendo there. PS4. Right? So that we can use JS, and then we call it a day, guys. And then we say cars. We have a Bugatti. Save image. Say Bugatti. Mustang, and an Audi. That would be fine. Right. Finally, mobile phones. Right. We have an Apple i6, the i6. Xiaomi, I wonder how, hopefully that's pronounced exactly like that. Xiaomi. Okay, let's just say Xiaomi. I think that's how it's pronounced. Yeah, I think so. Let's get that. iOS. Right, that should be fine. So now what we do is we want to have a form whereby this person can, let's just make this cell. So right now let's just make this thing happen, right? Are you logged in or logged out? So if you guys want me to continue with this project, comment down below and I will definitely continue with this project. So right now we just want to make a cell .jsx rename .jsx, right? So I want to use the same form as this, but then obviously change it here and there, right? So instead of the first thing that I want to do, because I know that I'll be dealing with forms, is I want to say e.target.files. So if they are there, I want to say e.target.files of 0, right? And then else, if it's not there, take that. So right now the name is fine, we can keep. We can remove email to photo and a type of file, and then email, we can say image, and then we go up there, we say image. And then description, we're not even gonna do like a description page. What we wanna do is we wanna have everything in the home page and display the email, have it in a box, sort of like. So the name and the product, let's say owner, product name, right? So we can remove this. That should be a type of text, and then we say product name, and then let's just keep this as name. Image is fine, that is fine, and then here we say owner, right? So instead of password and everything, we are left with owner, right? So now that should work. And then now we just want to set up our Cloudinary, right? So now we go to routes, we say upload, and then we say upload.js, right? So we need const router equals to express is equals to require express dot router const Cloudinary is equals to require Cloudinary. Come on, man, I can't even type now. Cloudinary dot v2 I need const. Okay, we need a model for all products, right? So what I do is I'll say all product.js simple model const mongoose is equals to require mongoose const product schema is equal to mongoose. So I could do a much more with this project, but then it's just now I didn't plan on making this video long, and I didn't want to edit. So yeah, so products, let's make it a type of array. We're probably just appending, and yeah, let's make it a type of array. I'll say const product model is equal to require not requirement, but to mongoose.model, and then we say product model, and then we use the product schema, right? And then we say module.export product model, right? So this is just a simple schema. And then in here we have Cloudinary. We need to require .env.config. Now what we want to do is when I go to Cloudinary, we want to take that, we say cloud name, we say cloud underscore name is equals to that. We need the API key, API underscore key, and then we say that, right, API underscore secret. So you guys should make your own account on Cloudinary. Yeah, so we say Cloudinary .config, and in here I need my cloud name, and that is process.env.cloud name API underscore key. That is process.env.api key API underscore secret. That is process.env.api secret, right? So now what I want to do is I want to say router dot post slash upload, and then API slash that. So I need formidable const formidable for body parsing, require formidable, right? So now I say const, and I say request response and then in here when I say const form is equals to new formidable dot incoming post incoming form, and I say form dot pass. When I pass that request, it will bring back errors, fields, and files, right? So I expect to get the name of the product, the owner, and the image. No, the name and the product, the name of that, and this is coming from field. Let's say also the email, and then I expect to get the image that is coming from files, right? And then I say cloudinary dot uploader dot upload. When I upload the image dot path, and in a folder that is OLX-CLONE, right? And then this will either bring back errors or results. So in those results, I want the const image underscore URL, which is coming from results dot secure URL. So the secure URL is the HTTPS, and then I need to import my what's that called, man? My product model. Right. Come on. All products, perfect. So now what I want to do is I want to say const product, new product, because now I have everything. This should be an object of name, the owner, email, and then the image will contain the image underscore URL, right? So now what I then do is I say const saved product should be equal to new product dot, oh yeah, and I want to say const product is equals to new product model, and then I pass in the new product, and then what happens here is I can say product dot save, which we await, meaning that I have to make this asynchronous, and then I return a response that status of 201.json with a message that says product posted, right? So now this should work, hopefully, because I did it like module.export is equal to router, and then now in my server I say app.use require routes upload, right? So now hopefully my okay, still fresh, nothing breaking. So now what I want to do is we should remember email, right, in our client, because obviously when you want to contact someone you need their email, right? So in here I want to change this to that, and then email I need a name, or let's say owner, yeah, because name is down there below, so let's just say owner. And then in here, what else? That was the image, right? And then this will be the image, and then email is what I want to add. So email, and I also want to add it here. I shouldn't forget that, yeah. Right, do it like that. Pretty, I should do everything for me. Right, and I say email. So now that should handle everything properly. Let's send this request. This should work. So now what I want to do is we go to the app. Oh, before we do that, we want to register this thing to being upload. Let's upload. Where's the app.js? We want to have the upload. I want to say route. I want to say upload, and then give it a path and say / sell-product, and that should give us what we want, right? So now come here, grab that, put that there. We have that form, right? So now let's send this form. Let's say Xbox One tick either target target. Okay, now this should be fine now. So our owner is Junior. Email junior@gmail.com. When I get the Xbox, go to manage the portfolio, that client source images. You want to get the Xbox, right? And then product name Xbox, right? So product posted, right? So if I go to Cloudinary, go to media, come here, refresh that, you must see those contents here. So where's that thing? OLX-CLONE, right? So here's that Xbox, and here's the product model, right? There we go. We have an array that's empty. Okay, I think it's because of how I handled things. Yeah, so instead of doing things like this, I'll do it like that. I think it's because of this. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think because it doesn't make sense. I do that. Why it doesn't make sense? Why it's empty? I do that, and then I sign up. You guys know that it's not signing up, so I do that. Let's see. What's happening with our array? Things are not coming my way. Am I passing through. Because the problem is by MongoDB. I don't know what's happening there. Let me just quick debug this. I don't know, this doesn't make sense. This shouldn't be a problem, to be honest. This is when you're desperate, guys. You avoid styles. You put it as raw as it is. Right, let's send back that request. Okay, so okay, let's send back the request. Okay, let's see. Oh my goodness. Okay, these arrays are empty. What's happening? Yeah. Okay, now it's easy, right? Because I don't know, man. I don't want to battle with this thing. Okay, just a second. Okay. Obviously, when I log this out, it'll work out. Obviously. Okay, this is how we do this, right? Right now we're amending things. We're amending a lot of things. It's time to amend these things. So yeah, in our model we have an array, right? So now what we do is let's just say what we expect in this is the name that is of type string required. I don't know why that was not working, right? So but then we want the owner of type string required true. We want the let's forget about price. I know that price is something that let's forget about that. So name, owner, email, I just don't want to be amending our things on the client now. So email and then image. Let's just stick to what we have. Right. So now this should work definitely because I'm passing exactly that name, owner, email, image. Right. And that should work. Let's try it out. Send that. Product posted. Right. Let's come here. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So now what I want to do is I want to send other request, right? So this is the next one. Let's see the image. So I have a PSP, right? So I want to change the product name to being PSP. So the main aim here is for us making use of Vue.js. So the main use is for me to learn and for you guys to learn Vue.js. I don't know if you know about Vue.js. So yeah, for fuzzy searching. So PS3. So PS3. But then if you guys want me to fix this thing, definitely comment down below. Mustang. iPhone. Bugatti. Right. Now finally Audi. Right. So now now let's go back to our home page, right? So now successfully added images, right? So now we want to display those contents here. We close this. Then we come to the home page. No, we need another component for this. We say sales.jsx. Alright. So yeah, I need Axios for sure. Axios. And I need use state and use effect. I say const mounted set mounted equals to use state set that to false. Set product equals to use state empty string class name product and underscore container. Right. So now what I want to do is I want to say use effect. So in the use effect, I want to make this asynchronous. I want to say const load data is equals to function. So it's just that inside here it doesn't allow me to use ES6 function, so hence I'm using this. I want to say await. So what I want to do is I want to say axios.get and I want to say /API/product. Right. And then I want to say const data is equal to await axios.get data /products, right? So now I say if mounted, right, I want to set product, so I want to set mounted to being true, I want to set product to the data, and then yeah, so then what I want to do is I want to load this data and then return a cleanup function that will set mounted to being false, and then my dependency here is mounted, right? and then that should do. So now let's go to our server. In our route, we make a fetch, and then we say fetch.js. So I need that boilerplate for, I need the router. Let me just lazy to type. I need the router, and that should be all. No, I also need the product model, right? That should be all. So router.get /API/product, right? /product. So now what I want to do is I want to make this asynchronous, and then request response, and then say await return a response. So now what I want to do is I want to say const data is equals to await product model dot find, and then and I say return a response dot status of 200.jr. Even if I didn't do this, I could have just made it simple. I say await product model dot find dot exe, and then it returns back a promise. So if it does get that data, I want you to return a response dot status of 200.json, and then pass through that data, and then catch any errors that arise. I want to log those errors, right? Now that should basically handle that. A module dot export is equals to router, right? So now I want to take this route to my server. I want to say app.use require, right, route fetch, perfect. So now I come to sales. So now I do that. After doing that, let's just log out our product to see if we're getting our product, and then we should be done with our project. And then I want to take this to the app. Oh no, so this is the home page, right? So that should still work, yeah. Oh yeah. I have to take this to the home page. So now down here I say sales, right? So now that way I want to check my console. So what is this thing saying? Await outside an async function. Put this here. What's happening here? Module. What? Okay. So what's happening there? I wonder what's happening there. unfortunately await has to be used. And if I use arrow functions, it doesn't allow me to. Okay, so what do we do? What do we do now? Okay, so it's fine. So we remove that, right? We put that there. That should still do. But then we'll remove this. Right? And that should still work. Right? So now we're getting 404 from the server. Right? Why? I do not understand. Okay, so let's just log out and see if we are hitting this route. Let's see if we are hitting this route. Just have a clean slate. Okay, there we go. To restart that, make sure that I'm hitting make sure that I'm hitting that route. Okay, so it doesn't look like I am. Okay, that's why HTTP localhost that 5000 / because I don't have a proxy. Right, let's do that. And there we go. So now what we want to do is we want to display this product here, right? So we say products and so when I say products, I want to say product, right? So now I want to loop through this thing. I say product dot map, say item, and then return item, and then the image will be item dot image. Let's see. There we go. We have all those items, right? And we have the name and the owner, right? So this is what we do. We then say h4. We say item dot name. h3. We say owner, and then we say item dot owner, right? So now we just want to style this. So we say product, or we say sales dot css, right? Let's close that, close that, close that, bring that there. So I want to import that. Come on, man. I thought I copied that sales.css. Alright. Now what we want to do is Okay, let me think. So if I display flex on this thing, it will display in the wrong way, but then I'll display flex on this one. So that one, come on. I wanna grab that and then display flex. Let's see. Right, but then we do not want that effect. Right. So now what I can do is, okay, it's fine. I can say flex wrap to have that wrap around, and that is not wrapping around. Right. So I say justify content space around. Right. Okay. Let them space between. Okay. Flex. Flex start. What happened to flex start? Flex direction. No man. There's a flex that I want, man. Flex flow. Yeah. Okay, I have things like this, right? But then that's not looking good, but I need some bit of spacing and margin. So I can say margin top 3M. What's happening here? Margin top of 10M just to push it. Let's see. Okay. Right. So 8M. Now what I want to do is I want to grab each item. I want to give it a margin left of 3Ms. There we go, there we go. And then I want to give a margin bottom. Margin bottom of 2Ms. Give it a bit more, let's say 5. There we go. So now what I want to do is I want to say background color of white smoke. Let's see something. Okay, so we have that background color everywhere, right? Let's give the thing a width of 50% of what it has. Okay, it's looking bad like that. Okay, trying to at least give it a bit of styling. So say box shadow. If I can give it a box shadow, it will look good. 4M, 2M, and then slate gray. Okay, so that box shadow is not working. Okay, so this is how we can like try and style this. Okay, hold on. Here we go with this box shadow. It works. It just needs me to refresh, but then it's too much. Alright, so I just want to say 2M. So it's just that the products that we have, they're not of the same size and all that, so I don't have control of that. But then I can have control of my box shadows, right? And right, I have control of that. So see, let's say padding of 0 but then 2m. Now that's looking bad. With padding it's looking bad. I was trying to like give let's see 1m just to give them an equal spacing, right? And okay, so margin left of 1m. So 3 was the sweet spot, right? So then it's just that I don't have control over this. But then we can do one more thing: transition, transform, 0.4 seconds. We copy this, and then we remove all this here. After removing all that, we say hover, we say transform, and then I want this to scale 1.2. I want this to scale 1.2 to have that effect, right? So yeah, so as you can see, we have that. So now it's time for Fuse.js, right? So with Fuse.js, what I can do is, let's say Fuse.js, I've never used it, first time trying it myself. So now let's see installation. Let's do that. So we want to have this, where is our, okay, so now what I want to do is, okay, so thing is, okay, so what I want to do is I want to say local storage, because I don't want to go to the MongoDB again. I don't want to go to MongoDB because I'll have to make another route that stringify the data, right? And so I set item to bring the data. So the same approach would work for either or. I mean, in terms of like MongoDB and here. So I should first install it. So come in here, install Fuse. Let's just look at this thing. So I can use it in Node.js as well. So yeah, if you guys want me to cover this on Node.js, I think I have an idea of how we can use this, right? But then we're looking for this, right? So now we import that. So now let's have state, right? Let's say use state, and then we say const search, and we say search term equals to use state, and then we say set, right? And then now what I want to do is we say that on change, I want to say e to set term to e dot target dot value, right? Now that should handle what I want. And then on click, not on icon, man, on the input field, on the input field, but in this one on click, so what I'll show is I'll just search it, I'll just make an alert, right? And then show search result. So I'll just make an alert and then give you my thought process on how I would handle that, right? Because yeah, this video is like now long. So I say that now this is done. Okay, so now what I can do is I can say const fuse is equals to new fuse, right? So now I say fuse dot, what's happening here? Oh, I think I should use it here. So const fuse is equals to new fuse. Okay, so I say fuse dot so now I have to make, yeah, I say keys, right? So in the keys we have what we want to search is the name, because the name is the product, right? So that's all we want to search. And then in here I say fuse dot search, I pass in the search keyword, right? And then actually I'm gonna console log. Let's console log this thing. So let's console log the result, and then you guys will see that we could have done a lot of things with that result. So it's a fuzzy search, right? So now let's go check it out. Let's go check it out. Yeah, so I come here, I say Xbox One, click on that. Let's see. Okay, let's just clear that. Let's say Xbox One. What? Say Xbox. Big tick. This thing is not working, so I don't know. First time reading it myself, so okay, first thing, right? Let's log out search. Let's see if we are getting the search. Let's see if we are getting the search. Right, let's see if we are getting the search. Okay, we are getting the search. Okay, so what we left out is here we need to pass out, oh yeah, so remember that local storage, so say const product, because it needs to know the collection. So say const product is equals to JSON dot pass. So yeah guys, my first time as well working with this thing. So get item, we want to get the product, and yeah, and then yeah, we pass those products. We pass those products into fuse, right? So now let me first verify here in my local storage. Let's verify it's data. It's data. So I say data, right? And then yeah, now everything is fine. So now let's say Xbox One. So now we get back an item. As you can see, Xbox. So it fuzzy search, uses for like fuzzy search to search. Let's say phone. And let's see. Alright, we get back a phone. But then the thing is, there we do not have a car, but I don't know if it will work. So you can see that we could have done a lot. There's no car here, but then I can say Bugatti. Let's say Bugatti, and then it brings back that Bugatti. So you see how good it is. There's a lot that we could do with this thing. But then if you guys liked this video and you want me to continue with this build, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll definitely continue with this build. It was nice building this with you guys, and goodbye guys.